Welcome to Ep.2 of the Lonely Stoners podcast. I hope you've all had a wonderful day today. And if you haven't, don't worry, I'm sure you'll have a better one tomorrow. So, let's get right into it. Yesterday night, me and my mum were talking, right? And we were talking about my little sister. And I was thinking about it after we finished talking. And I was thinking about how I treat her directly affects her, childhood, right? And that got me thinking, right? Like, I have such a big effect on this person's life, and I'm fully responsible for it. So, like, if I treat her like shit, and I'm a really shit person to her, she's gonna grow up, you know, with more hatred in her heart and less caring. But if I show her what it's like to be cared for and loved, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna set her bar higher for when she meets people in the future. And it'll ensure that she's treated better and what she deserves. And that realization that I had, it made me realize, like, I'm everything to my little sister. Like, she loves me with all her heart. And that's so valuable to have. Just someone who looks up to you, appreciates you, loves you. That's so valuable to have in your life. And yeah, I'm glad that I have that. I'm honored. It's it it's very valuable to me, my connection with my sister. And yeah, it just makes me wonder, like all the other little sisters with older brothers, right? And how they were treated and how it has affected them as a person. Like, I don't have any specific examples, but I can just imagine all the different possibilities of, you know, childhood experiences. And because I've heard people say to me, like, parents with two kids, siblings, right? And they've said to me, like, wow, you have something really special with your sister, right? Like, I would never see my kids hugging each other. Like, they pretty much hate each other. And I'm like, wow, that's like, I'm glad that I can give somebody the opportunity, my little sister being that person, the opportunity to experience, or not experience, but yeah, experience love and caring from not your parent, someone besides your parents. And I think that that's gonna be very important for her growing up. So yeah, I mean, PSA to everyone out there, just try to have a good relationship with your siblings. And if you don't, there's always room to improve, as with everything. I mean, everything has room to improve. Your looks, your personality, um, how you react to situations, your intelligence, everything. That's a special thing about life. I mean, you'll never be perfect, but you can always shoot for perfection, and you'll continue to improve forever, really. But you'll never be perfect, and that's what makes us all unique. That's special, man. That's special. Ah, yeah, man. Uh, Yesterday in my episode, I mentioned briefly how I grew up like I grew up unattractive, right? And it made things difficult for me. And I just wanted to delve a bit deeper into what I meant by that, because I think it's a really interesting topic. How looks, just something you cannot control, how you were born, it affects your entire life just so heavily. And I'll talk about my experience real quick. And I'm not talking from an ego standpoint. I'm talking from what I've heard from other people, right? Um, I grew up with really messed up teeth and like shit hair, and my smile was gross looking, and I was quiet, introverted. It was a really bad mix. And over the past 2 years, it has completely flipped 180, like how I mentioned in yesterday's episode. And like now I'm getting compliments, which I'd never received a compliment in those in my entire life until the past couple years. And it's it's a big change. It's a big change. Going from someone who, you know, girls have told me to my face, like, I'm gonna keep my distance from you. And that's a stab in the chest. Hearing that, like being a threat, that it's a shitty feeling. Looking at yourself in the mirror and feeling like a threat. And this happened last year. That girl said that to me. And yeah, it's much different now. Happier. I'm happier. You know, when you gain confidence, you gain happiness. That it goes hand in hand. Um, so yeah, I used to hate looking in the mirror and seeing myself and thinking about how deprived I am of, you know, love and affection from not my own family, but other people, you know? Like I had friends, male friends. And I mean, yeah, I'm glad somebody chose to be friends with me. That that helped. But nobody ever told me like, bro, you gotta change something. Which I wish somebody did. I really do. I wish something changed sooner. But at least, better late than never, as they say. Better late than never. But yeah, man, it just makes me think, like, what if I didn't have friends growing up? Where would I be now? If I didn't meet that girl online, like where would I be now? I would have zero confidence. Actually, I don't know that because you can't really, you never know for certain where you'll be in the future. So I'm just kind of spitballing guesses, but I could have been better off, which I doubt, but there's a chance. That's a cool thing about life. I mean, it's so unpredictable. You've got so many paths in life, and you're going down your own, and so many things like affect that path on the way. Literally everything. Every day, your path changes just a little bit. You don't notice, but it happens. But yeah, going back to the other topic, I, you know, I, f- I fixed my appearance. Like someone finally, told me randomly one day. They were just like, bro, you gotta get this haircut, right? Like, you will unlock your full potential if you get this haircut. And I was like, yeah, alright, I'll give it a try. And then I got it, and suddenly, I had more confidence. Like I had before I got the haircut, I had these really shitty like curtains kind of. It was really embarrassing looking back on it. But at the time I thought it was decent, but God no. God, I was wrong. And yeah, I also got like Invisalign, which, that was the best thing that's ever happened to me. Just getting my teeth fixed, right? And that makes me like it's so unfortunate that not everyone can have that opportunity to get something about them fixed. Even though there's solutions out there, not everyone can afford, Invisalign, for example. So many people are just left with, fucked up teeth, which isn't a good sight, to be honest. Just giving you the facts here, it's not attractive to look at a shitty smile. That was the main thing that really changed about my looks, plus the hair. But that's all it took, just two things. Two things changed, and it completely flipped my world. It just, with those two things, it came confidence. It came, it came with socialization. It came with more benefits. And that's what I want to talk about, like the benefits of being conventionally attractive compared to being, you know, unattractive. It's a touchy topic, but it's so fascinating to me. I don't know why, it just is. How your appearance determines your entire life pretty much. And you can't like you can change it. You can definitely improve it. But you can't really choose it, if you know what I mean. Like you can't choose how you're born to look. You can't choose your genetics or your parents. So you just kind of gotta work with the cards you got given. I reckon it's it's a it's a it's a big topic. It's touchy, sensitive topic. Like I can't think of, you know, a worse quality to have in terms of how it affects you than just being unpleasant to look at. And there's nothing you can do about it, you know. But you can always improve. I mean, I've seen some crazy glow ups. I've seen people go from like 2 out of 10s to 10 out of 10s with just a haircut, you know? Like it, sometimes it's the smallest things that make the biggest difference. As with everything in life, you know? I mean, your environment changes depending on what music is, what music's playing in your earbuds, for example. Like, if you're going for a drive with extremely calming music on, you're gonna be more relaxed. But if you have intense music, you're gonna be more on edge and wanna do more sporadic things. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that to be honest, but you know, can't hurt to say. Um, what else is written down on my little list of topics? Man, alright. I've got down differentiating between reality and delusion. Right. Now, to be honest, I didn't fully know what I meant by that when I wrote it down. It just sounded kind of cool. So I'm gonna get into that now. What was I thinking when I heard that? I was how you see yourself, I think. Like, how you see yourself. And, like, I see myself, me personally, I see myself as, uh, just, I don't want to make it sound like an ego thing, but I'm going based off what people tell me, you know. But I'm told that I'm attractive and I'm funny, and that that makes me believe that I am. But that doesn't, necessarily mean that I am. That just means I am to some people. So I don't know if when I say I'm attractive, I don't know if that's reality or if that's delusion, you know? And I think more and more people are getting delusional with, yeah, lying is getting easier and easier. Or is it? I mean, it kind of is with like AI and shit. But like lying, I hate liars, bro. But at the same time, you gotta lie sometimes. You gotta know when to lie. I wanna get into that actually. Lying. Why lying isn't a good thing, but it is sometimes. But who is it good to? Like, if I'm talking to a girl, right, I'm gonna lie to her sometimes to make myself appear more, you know, attractive. I'm gonna lie to her if, it benefits me. But I'm not gonna lie about something like petty or not petty, but like something insignificant. Like I'm not gonna tell her like, oh yeah, I've got 3 dogs, right? That's just a pointless lie. That's the liars that I don't like. The people who just lie about random shit for no reason. But if is it even lying? I mean, it's still lying. It's just a different context. Context means everything, really. Like if I lie about, let's say this girl doesn't like guys who, let's say, vapes, alright? And I vape sometimes. I'm not saying I do. This is a theoretical. And I vape, you know. I'm gonna tell her that I don't, just so she doesn't lose interest, you know? Actually, I think that's a bit of an extreme example because eventually she's gonna find out, so there's kind of no point. Just don't vape in the first place, really. Nah, I'm just playing. If you vape, then you vape. It's your life. Do what you want with it. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I can give you some suggestions. Like suggestion number one, it probably isn't good, in terms of literally everything, financially, um, health-wise. It's unattractive. Actually, no, it's attractive to some people, but does it attract the wrong people? You gotta think about that. Like everything's attractive to somebody, but that somebody might not be the best, to be attracted. To be attracted, yeah. Like, where am I going with this? I'm actually lost. Oh, where was I? Shit. Reality and delusion. That's right. Like, let's take a girl online, for example. A girl posts a picture, and in this picture, she doesn't look attractive, right? Just factually. This is reality I'm talking about. In this picture, she doesn't look attractive. And in the comment section, it's just a bunch of people telling her that she is beautiful and a queen and deserves the best, And that's where the delusion kicks in. Because now that girl is being fed this information that she is beautiful and pretty and deserves the world and she's gonna believe that, which is, blatant delusion if in reality she isn't conventionally attractive. But that happens all the time, and it just it's toxic, really. Toxic. Um, but if she posted that and everyone just fucking slammed her in the comments and they're like, "You're ugly, you're fucking chopped and shit," she's gonna feel pretty shitty, right? I mean, she's getting fed reality, but at what cost? Like, yeah, she knows the truth, but now she's on the verge of like suicide or something. So you can't. I mean, it's tricky. It's a very, very thin line to balance on. And a lot of people either fall one way or the other of that line. Most times, the delusional side. And this is for girls. I don't know what it's like for guys. I assume it's the other side, where they tell him reality, you know? And, is that one of the reasons why men have such a high suicide rate? Is it the fact that they're not delusional? Most times. There's a lot of delusional men, don't get me wrong. But like guys, they see reality for what it is. Most of them. Not talking about all of them. Most of them. Actually, fuck most. Some. Actually, I don't know, bro. I don't know. 'Cause now I feel delusional. 'Cause I don't really know shit. I could sit here and talk about these topics like I know about them, but in reality, I'm just going based off, what I see and hear. But I don't really know what goes on behind the scenes in people's minds, you know. I don't know. Man, but like, I thought of this quote earlier. This is to all the people struggling in life. If, here's the quote. No storm lasts forever. You will be alright. Alright? That's the quote. If no storm lasts forever, you will be alright. And that's an important thing to wrap your head around, right? That nothing is permanent. No bad thing in your life is permanent. You can always do something about it. Most times, actually. If you're like disabled or something, then you're kind of out of luck. But if a family member dies, or you got fired from your job, or you're about to be fucking homeless, your wife left you, your kids hate you, you know. Actually, that's a bit extreme. I don't know if you can definitely recover. It's just more difficult. It's a bigger storm. But nothing lasts forever. You'll if you thug it out, you will be all right. And yeah, that's my positive message for today for all of you out there. Just keep going and just don't give up, man. Just the world's a better place. The world would be a better place if all those people who gave up didn't, you know? What if all those people who gave up came together and, helped each other? There'd be less depression and and hostility in the world, and it would benefit the world, or at least that's what I like to think. Like if we all came together just to do one task, we would, you know, we would do that task perfectly. Let's take ants, for example. A colony of ants comes together for one sole purpose, and that is to get food back to the queen or the nest. I don't know which one, but probably the nest, right? And they all come together to pick up this food and take it back. And every ant plays a part, and as a result, they are all benefited. They are all fed, and you know, the nest survives. If everyone works together, then nobody will give up. I did this um social thing back in grade, what was it, 6 maybe? And it was, man, I don't know why I'm thinking about this right now, but it was a little task, right? And it was, we were holding like a rectangle. I don't remember what it was, but it was like, just imagine a little cardboard rectangle, right? And we all had to hold one corner of it. It was 4 people around the rectangle holding one corner. And our goal was to lower the cardboard to the ground and keep it level, you know? And no matter how hard we tried to communicate and come together to put it down, it either went up or became unlevel. And after that experiment, they grabbed the mic, you know, they sat up on stage and they were like, as you can see, if, 4 people came together, it's impossible to put it down. Like, it always lifts up. Which, looking back on it, thinking about it now, it's kind of a shitty metaphor. Because it's a double-edged sword. 4 people come together and all they can do is lift it, but their goal is to put it down. What the fuck am I yapping about? What the hell? Bro, you get the point. You get the point. You try. They were talking about like if the piece of cardboard was a person and 4 people came together to help the person, then the cardboard, which is metaphorically a person, would lift, metaphorically improve mentally or doing whatever the tasks are doing. I don't know what I'm yapping about. I'm just yapping now. We got to that part of the episode where I just yap. Um, man. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed this little rant of mine for tonight. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next episode. Have a great night, guys. Good night.